can't breathe? Are you having an asthma attack? Breathing is an absolute must. As humans, we were designed to need to intake oxygen. Breathing is life. And it's not just humans. Almost every living creature on this planet needs to breathe also. It's so much a part of our nature that we rarely think about it at all. But the instant something goes wrong with that simple process, it's a dire emergency. What do you do if one moment all is well and normal, then suddenly you can't breathe? This is an asthma attack, and more people are getting asthma. With a severe asthma attack, you can't just put it on hold and call up a neighbor and tell them to watch your animals while you drive yourself to the emergency room. That isn't going to happen. It is a dire emergency when your lungs cannot take in oxygen. What if there are no ambulances to call or emergency rooms to go to and you stopped breathing? What if you didn't have an inhaler? Would you know what to do? Asthma is a respiratory condition. The airways become narrow and inflamed. This leads to difficulty breathing. The primary symptoms of asthma include wheezing, shortness of breath, chest tightness, and coughing. And this can be triggered by allergens, exercise, cold air, smoke, and stress. And this can happen even if you have never had asthma before. It can come on suddenly, and it is an emergency. As the airways become distressed, the bronchial muscles contract, the lining of the airways become inflamed, and the airways produce more mucus in an attempt to protect themselves from the irritation. This results in a perfect storm for interfering with air movement in the lungs. So what do? Well, physicians treat asthma using pharmaceuticals like bronchodilators to open the airways and corticosteroids to decrease inflammation. Those drugs can have an excellent effect on opening things up and getting the air moving, but they can also have some serious negative side effects. The good news is that there are some amazing plants that can be of great benefit to asthma cases. Let's take a look at a couple of herbs. Like I mentioned before, the main culprits of asthma is bronchial constriction, inflammation, and excess mucus. For bronchial constriction, lobelia, cramp bark, and gumweed can relax the muscles and open the constriction up. For inflammation, brigham tea and nettle leaf are both amazing plants to decrease lung inflammation. Last but not least, we have some great plants for removing excess mucus. They are elecampane, mullein leaf, and gumweed. Let's take a closer look at each of these herbs. Lobelia is a biennial that can get up to 2 feet tall. It has stalked lower leaves with pale violet blue and tinted pale yellow flowers. The whole plant can be used as medicine. It relaxes muscle spasms and has vigorous expectorant qualities. Cramp bark is a deciduous shrub that can get as tall as 15 feet. It has 3 lobed leaves and white flowers. It is wonderful for relieving muscle spasms and calming coughs. Gumweed is a perennial plant that can reach 40 inches tall. It has gray-green toothy leaves and small yellow ray flowers. It is an herb that is great for dry coughs. It helps open airways, and it also helps with excess mucus. Brigham tea is also known as Mormon tea. It is a 3-foot shrub with numerous yellowish-green branches. It contains the alkaloid called ephedrine, which makes it highly effective in treating respiratory conditions. Nettle is a perennial shrub that gets up to 3 feet tall. Its leaves are serrated and elongated, and it has yellowish flowers. The leaf is an expectorant and helps with respiratory issues. Elecampane is a perennial that can reach 5 feet tall. It has large leaves and a spiky yellow flower. The roots are the medicine and can be used to make tinctures or teas. It can calm and prevent coughing and is an expectorant. Mullein is a biennial plant that can get quite tall. The first year there are green leaves, and the second year There are leaves along with a thick head of yellow flowers that shoot upwards. It supports bronchial congestion and chest colds. It is wonderful to use for any respiratory issue. With any of these, you can have a tincture on hand and quickly put it in your throat, and you will be able to breathe freely again. As you can see, there are natural options there for you that you need to have knowledge of and use in times of need, especially if you currently suffer from asthma attacks. If you would like to learn how to make a tincture, you can find this in my book, found in any bookstore, called Survival Herbs for Beginners. And you can also find this information by signing up for my free bi-monthly herbal educational newsletter. In this newsletter, I teach you about herbs, but also on how to make herbs into medicine. To sign up for that, go to www.theweeddoc.net. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you will never miss anything about herbs or anything homestead or prepping related. SHTF Survival Homestead Teaching Farm wants you to learn. Please take advantage of this free information.